Let's see if you are making mistakes that's holding back your career and your organization's future. Let's review the most benign mistake that everybody makes, and let's see if you are making it. So listen carefully so you can be guaranteed to find ways to improve, because this is something everyone does. First, the biggest mistake in business intelligence industry is the data being built for reports or algorithms very unique and specifically. So if you'll take a look at this image right here, you'll see one of the biggest problems is we see people building reports columnarily. Every single time a request comes in, they build a report, they build a new algorithm, and they'll build the queries and the data that needs to support it each and every individual time. This is the worst possible mistake in the business intelligence industry because it does several things. Number one, it creates disparate sources of truth. So now you have reports that are actually conflicting because you had either different developers or different code that had different use cases coming back to different results because they filtered differently, and the data wasn't centralized and gone through a data curation process that is used ubiquitously throughout the organization. So if you want to make sure that you are avoiding this mistake, centralize your data, bring it into a proper data warehouse, data repository where the data is cleansed, transformed, and you're using dimensions, facts that will enable, whether it be a data scientist or a regular report developer, it gives them the opportunity and the latitude to basically use the same data that everybody else is, and when you clean the data, you cleanse it in one place and not a dozen or hundreds of different places. In one particular organization I was at, there was over 60 developers building individualized reports. It took years and years and years to build a data warehouse that accommodated all these reports for the very reason that they accrued so much technical debt. So take this pattern, take this design, build out your layers properly. Set up a proper data mart, set up a proper data warehouse with your respective data marts, and then bring them in together to your semantic layers or your algorithmic tools of choice so you can actually have a unified environment in your organization. The next is self-service BI. This is one of the biggest things that everybody wants. It's the magpie, the shiny toy in the room. So how do you deal with this? Well, the biggest problem is everybody sells it as a technology issue, and it's not. Technology is only a small portion of it. It actually is probably the easiest hurdle of it all. If you want to be successful in self-service, you have to curate a data-centric mentality in the organization, and that starts with actually training the organization in the data visualization tools with data that is specific and unique to each department that they are using, with the respective data marts that they can pull and extract from. And you help them to replicate their pre-existing reports. And you do that social engineering to actually change the culture and pivot the organization. And you do this in such a way that it will actually become very easy and you'll get huge adoption and the organization will continue to skyrocket with that self-service. But to chalk it up to doing just a technology issue, you need a tactician who's gonna come in and actually do the technology, but then help to navigate the pathways to bring it into the organization and make that proper culture and social fit. The next biggest business intelligence mistake is not understanding why someone is asking for the data that they are needing. I can't tell you how many times I've gone through a situation where somebody says, I need this data, I need it immediately. And you go, okay, why? And they go, oh, because I'm using it for this board of directors meeting and we're presenting the data and we have to show them exactly how it is. And so we need it immediately because it's for these board of directors. It's always some executive, some leader, some board of directors that's pushed down this request that they need it. Pull the thread, and when you do, what you end up always finding is, well, actually they just need that data because what they're looking for is they have an Excel sheet that they are needing to do a VLOOKUP to the data you're gonna give them to build out their report. And they're using that report in conjunction with 5, 6, 7, or even more spreadsheets that they build this chimera or this Frankenstein of a report out to then turn around and bring to the business leaders. So if you just pull the thread a little bit, you actually understand what they're trying to accomplish. You can actually spend substantially less time in identifying what they're needing and providing them much fuller and robust solutions. You say, okay, just give me what you're actually building here, all of the different spreadsheets. I'm gonna show you how to build that in a self-service tool, or I'm gonna show you how to build that in Power BI, Tableau, QlikView, you name the data visualization tool, Domo, whatever it may be. You enable them properly, and then it's going to be, they're going to catapult like a rocket, and it's going to only enforce and enable people coming to the business intelligence department with the perspective of, let's curate the data properly so that way we can actually move forward at a quicker pace and enable the business to move forward. Lastly, time management. Business intelligence department is probably the most demanded group in the entire company. As we see that Forbes has listed data as the most mined resource in the world, most companies are coming and having to ask, how do we resolve this issue? What is going on here? Why are our margins low here? What's going wrong with these products, these services, have these problems? Every question that can come up comes to the business intelligence department, and they're having to solve and resolve it. So time management, work with your executive leadership and then also your direct leadership. If you're not in a management role in business intelligence, work with your direct leadership and ask them, let's carve out and designate some time each morning. I don't sign on to email, I don't sign on to Teams or whatever instant messaging tool you're using. I'm just gonna be a shadow for the first hour of every day. I'm gonna send you an email that I've logged on, and then I'm going dark. And only if you call or text me will I come out of that dark stage, and I'm going to be getting focus time to get these things accomplished. That enables you to work on the larger initiatives without being distracted by the fanfares and the distractions of today. Lastly, the next is gonna be not building enough time for pet projects. Believe it or not, you have the knowledge of the organization and the data to identify what is going to bring the organization to the best possible place with the data and bringing the most return on investment for your time. So build these pet projects, carve out some time, set aside 2-3 hours a week to just work on those pet projects that you know is going to deliver that value. And you'll be amazed at some of the products that you can produce. And if you're in a management position, do that for your employees. They know a lot, work alongside with them, talk them through what are they thinking as far as what's going to be their project, and give them a 2-hour meeting time where they just get to work on it, and then they get to collaborate with each other on how they're going to make their pet projects move forward to bring the biggest benefit to the organization. So if you're interested in more videos about business intelligence or data science, go ahead and check out this video down below.